This is the Iowa weather report for Friday, October 2nd, 2015. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Still have an upper level feature that's not really moving across the south. We still have Hurricane Joaquin over the Bahamas, and it's not been moving a whole lot of late. And fairly calm and quiet weather around here that's not been moving a whole lot either. You can still see fairly calm weather. The high pressure still in control in our area, keeping temperatures in the 60s, lows in the upper 30s to middle 40s. Storm system off to our west and rain across the east coast, keeping it quite wet there. And it looks to stay that way across the east as Joaquin begins to slowly move north out of the Bahamas, along and just off the east coast. Storm system off to our west tries to get into our area, but it could only bring us a few clouds into our western counties. Most of the rain opportunities will stay west of the Missouri River. You can see as we move here into Sunday, Joaquin should be east of North Carolina, a couple hundred miles east of, say, Cape Hatteras at this point. It will move north to northwesterly a bit, but it should still stay east of the United States. It may clip southeastern New England, maybe just off of Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard, and then move up into the Canadian Maritimes as we head into the early part of next week. As you can see here, by Monday into Tuesday here, it looks to be fairly calm still around here. Temperatures will start to come up a bit, maybe some middle 60s for highs and lows mainly in the 40s, no more upper 30s by the early to middle part of next week. But finally, with this Joaquin thing moving away, storms will start to finally move across the country, and we'll finally get a storm system moving in by the middle of next week, Wednesday into especially on Thursday, with some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder or two. Readings will still remain mainly in the 60s, maybe a few lower 70s ahead of the system as it does warm up a bit. But on Thursday, with a lot of rain and clouds around, that could hold the temperatures down into the lower, maybe middle 60s in some areas. Looking into next Friday, you can see that trough digging in across the middle part of the country with the storm system beginning to slowly move out. Still could see some lingering rain around here. Ridge pumping up over especially California as the new storm moves into the north and west, especially into the western part of Canada. You can still see this lingering system around here, so next Friday could be rather wet and fairly cool. Maybe readings maybe stuck in some places in the upper 50s. But this is all dependent. We still have a ways to go. Going into the extended period around the 13th of October, flow coming out of the Pacific. It is a bit west to northwesterly, but it is a zonal flow, and that's going to keep pretty much the weather fairly active. But with a trough around, it's going to keep our temperatures down. You can see the 540 line, that blue line dipping into Minnesota, and that's concerning that there could be a little bit of wintry action, especially up in the Iron Range in Minnesota. So it's getting to be that time of the year again. Going into the end of the forecast on the 17th, the flow still coming out of the Pacific. A lot of cold air up in Canada and into northern New England. Storm system over there. Not really going to affect us, but this fast-moving flow, another system is going to be approaching fairly quickly from the west and northwest with a little bit of activity. Storm over the eastern part of Canada, really winding up, could be some active weather there, but fairly calm across the southern tier of the country if this is to be correct. And what it is correct is this satellite image from last evening. You can see major Hurricane Joaquin over the Bahamas. It's been slowly moving through the Bahamas. Rain across the east coast, not really moving a whole lot. Storm system out to our west is not really moving in our direction either. It's staying calm and quiet. Very cool in the northern part of the country. Frost and freeze advisories up there. Some freeze warnings up in the Adirondacks. Flash flooding in the mid-Atlantic. That's with that system off along the east coast with some parts of Joaquin. You can see that. Lots of rain over the next 5 days. That is 19 inches in South Carolina. Not sure that'll happen, but it could be quite heavy there. Very little to nothing around here.